Imagine a vast realm, Europe, where the veil of life tears asunder and legions of souls are swept into the abyss amid cries of torment. Once vibrant avenues become silent sepulchres where the living, gripped by primal dread, consign their garments to purifying fires and beseech ancient deities long forsaken. The very ether pulses with the foul breath of mortality, as if the heavens themselves have conspired to unleash oblivion. Hail, seekers of forgotten lore. Today, we embark upon a grand odyssey into the heart of medieval gloom, the epoch of the Black Death. Behold, an invisible specter, the plague, descends like a vengeful phantom, sowing pandemonium across the lands, claiming multitudes in its merciless grasp, toppling thrones, and compelling humanity to wage war against extinction itself. Yet, from this cataclysmic void emerges a tale most profound, an era where humble mortals ascend as titans of fortitude, and a phoenix-like resurgence ignites the embers of the Renaissance. Witness the harrowing revelations, the shadowed path by which this scourge invaded, the grim toll that felled nigh 60% of souls, and the valiant reconstruction by survivors, from alchemical leaps in healing arts to seismic upheavals in creation and fellowship. Dare you traverse this precipice of fate? Pledge your allegiance with a subscription, anoint this chronicle with your favor, and let us unveil why the Black Death was no mere terminus, but the forge of an exalted new dawn. Onward. The Black Death, an epic of ruin, endurance, and renewal. The crossroads of destiny, a flourishing Eden. Ere the tempest, cast your gaze upon Europe at the cusp of the 14th century, a tapestry woven with vitality, ambition, and splendor. Far from the stagnant shroud of legend, this was a domain ablaze with existence. From the fractured remnants of yore, a mere 3 centuries past, arose a populous empire. Souls numbering 40 million in the 10th century swelled to 80 to 100 million by 1300. A divine surge of humanity. Hamlets bloomed like stars in the firmament, verdant fields stretched under benevolent skies, and at the nexus of wandering paths, metropolises ascended as beacons of opulence and enlightenment. Alas, this grandeur concealed a chasm of fragility. The edifice rested upon the brittle pillars of feudalism, a majestic hierarchy where sovereigns commanded from gilded heights, nobles guarded expansive domains in exchange for fealty, and at the nadir, the toiling masses, 95% of all, were chained to the soil of their birth, laboring eternally for lords in return for mere subsistence. This colossal architecture, sustained by the ceaseless toil of mortals, demanded an unending tide of hands to endure. The urban citadels, meanwhile, pulsed with fervor and squalor, thronged with multitudes, bereft of purity, intertwined with the globe through labyrinthine trade veins. These very arteries, bearers of fortune to realms like Florence, Venice, and Paris, unwittingly summoned a phantom harbinger of doom. The Great Famine, harbinger of celestial wrath. Ere the plague's shadow fell, the firmament itself decreed tribulation, a dire prelude to apocalypse. In 1315, but a breath before the scourge, the cosmos rebelled. Frigid gales and unyielding deluges rendered 1314 to 1316 the 5th most sodden triennium in 7 centuries. Grains withered in sodden earth, fodder for beasts lay undried, a curse upon the harvest. The reckoning was infernal. Provisions soared beyond mortal reach. In Lorraine, wheat's value ascended 320%, banishing bread from the humble hearth. Even salt, guardian of flesh against decay, vanished, for its birth required the sun's kiss, now withheld. The once thriving dominion teetered on oblivion, reserves hoarded by monarchs, aristocracy, and the ecclesiastical elite. In such abyss, humanity's veil slipped, revealing monstrosity. Annals from Bristol whisper of cannibalism, devouring equine and canine flesh, and whispers of kin consumed. Even Edward II, sovereign of England, faltered in quest for sustenance at St. Albans Abbey. This famine not merely enfeebled flesh, rendering it prey to malady, it scarred the spirit and sundered bonds. Tales of devoured progeny and forsaken innocence heralded the fracturing of ancient covenants. Unveiling the enigma, the true genesis of the scourge. Ages whispered that the Black Death arose from distant Cathay, a fable enduring yet fallacious. Arcane divinations of lineage have shattered this illusion, unveiling a saga more poignant. In 2022, sages of the Max Planck Institute unearthed the essence of Yersinia pestis in relics from 1338 to 1339 in the shadowed vales of Kyrgyzstan. This secluded cradle amid Tian Shan's peaks birthed the plague's cataclysmic divergence, deemed the Big Bang, whence this primordial strain sired the devourer of Europe. The affliction dwelt in untamed rodents, marmots of those wilds, conveyed by fleas that bridged beast and man. Its odyssey to our shores? Through the Mongol dominion's Pax Mongolica, a golden epic of harmony that revived colossal trade conduits, chief among them the Silk Road's eternal thread. Caravans laden with silken treasures, aromatic essences, and enlightened visions unwittingly bore this spectral cargo, disseminating it across Eurasia's vast expanse. The Siege of Despair, a gruesome omen and its echoes. The plague's incursion into Europe entwines with a chronicle of horror, the beleaguerment of Kaffa. In 1346, Khan Jani Beg's horde, ravaged by Enigma's grip, encircled the Genoese bastion upon Crimea's shores. Defied by walls unyielding, the Khan, per Gabriele de Musi's quill, unleashed abomination. Cadavers of the afflicted hurled aloft by catapults to poison the besieged. Mountains of the slain cascaded, their decay corrupting zephyrs and waters, a miasma so vile that flight became myth. Yet verity unveils nuance. Such macabre barrages may have seeded doom in Kaffa, but they were mere tributaries in the deluge. The true torrent flowed via maritime lifelines, vessels teeming with vermin and parasites, harbingers inexorable. Fleeing souls from Kaffa joined a flotilla of accursed barks bound for Mediterranean havens. Thus, in October 1347, the spectre alighted in Messina, Sicily, aboard Genoese galleys, thence ravaging the continent with infernal velocity. Kaffa's saga, then, endures as a poignant emblem. Commerce, once life's elixir, transmuted into death's chalice. Reverberations of the Black Death, cataclysm and resurrection. Societal dissolution, and the healer's futility. When the Black Death assailed Europe, it struck not as a creeping shadow, but as a thunderbolt from the void. Manifestations infernal, fevers searing, sanguine expulsions, agonies unfathomable, buboes swelling like harbingers of Gehenna, defied prediction, a scourge inexorable. Before the hail, comrades vibrant withered as if clutched by ethereal talons, birthing terror profound and anarchy absolute. The bastion of society, deemed eternal, crumbled in an instant. Dread of contagion severed kinships, companions forsaken, kin abandoned, souls immured in solitude. Rites sepulchral, hallowed through epochs, devolved to haste or ceased. The departed amassed in colossal pits beyond ramparts, discarded like chaff. Healers of the age stood impotent. Their dogma, the humoral creed of antiquity, decreed maladies from disequilibrium of quartets vital: blood, collar yellow, collar black, phlegm. Remedies sought harmony through sanguine effusion or cauterization's blaze, torments that hastened demise. Miasmatic faith proclaimed ills from noxious vapors of decay. Thus, beaked visors brimmed with aromatic wards. This archetypal garb, emblem of epochs, arose not in this tempest but centuries hence. Yet, its waxed shroud and enveloping veil unwittingly warded fleas, the true emissaries of plague. In desolation's grip, responses diverged wildly. As in Boccaccio's Decameron, some embraced hedonism's abyss. Feast, revel, for morrow claims us. Others invoked divine fury through mortification. Flagellants, born in Teutonic lands, scourged flesh in spectacles sanguine, proliferating to appease celestial ire. Their throngs swelled until 1349, when Pontiff Clement VI decried them, fearing schism's seed. And woe unto the Hebrews, scapegoats of frenzy. Accusations of well poisoning arose, for ritual purity spared some contagion. Mobs, blind with rage, wrought massacres. In Strasbourg 1349, nigh 2,000 immolated ere plague's advent. Clement VI's edicts of safeguard availed naught. Communities perished, remnants fleeing eastward to Poland's embrace under Casimir III. The grand metamorphosis, feudalism's fall, and a new epoch's rise. As the plague receded, Europe emerged transfigured, a phoenix from pyre. The annihilation of half its denizens forged a void in labor's ranks, inverting hierarchies eternal. Feudal bonds, chaining serfs to soil immutable, dissolved like mist at dawn. Survivors, now rarities precious, demanded recompense and dignity. Overlords vied for their service, proffering coin or corvée, transmuting terrene economy to auric flux. Sovereigns strove to stem the tide. England's Statute of Laborers, 1351, sought to petrify wages pre-cataclysm, yet edicts faltered. Peasants ascended, igniting conflagrations like the 1381 revolt. Thus, Western feudalism fractured, yielding to novel paradigms. Paradox profound. The reborn realm grew fluid, sowing seeds of capitalism. Diminished multitudes meant ampler domains, wages exalted, elevating existence for the steadfast. The Black Death's eternal legacy, the Renaissance's aurora. One might deem the plague harbinger of perpetual night, yet it kindled the Renaissance's blaze, birthing modernity. Tumult dismantled venerable bastions, ecclesia, feudal yoke, inviting innovation's dawn. As ancient physic faltered, novel elixirs arose. Italian polities, scourged deepest, decreed primordial hygiene, inspections arcane, isolations in lazarettos, quarantines maritime. Quarantine, from Venetian quarantino, 40, emerged as ships languished 40 days in vigil. In arts and tomes, a cosmic pivot. Boccaccio's Decameron wove mortality's shroud with threads of mortal valor. Holbein's Dance Macabre portrayed death's impartial waltz, ensnaring high and low, heralding humanism's gaze upon humanity's essence. These grim tapestries, steeped in shadow, exalted the mortal coil or divine decree, a Renaissance cornerstone. Thus, the Black Death sundered antiquity, midwifing novelty. It imparted wisdom, existence fragile, structures ephemeral, compelling quests anew in wisdom, fellowship, and creation, altering fate's eternal weave. This saga echoes eternally. In deepest gloom, fortitude triumphs, each downfall a gateway to ascension. If this epic stirred your essence as mine, bestow your acclaim, pledge fealty via subscription, and inscribe in the annals below. Did the plague, in cosmic irony, redeem history? Until our next odyssey, recall, from abyss profound, light eternal springs. Farewell.